Lalitā Shri Krishnakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaveshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Chakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devashani Kam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yat Kripanam Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna and welcome everyone for this Chaitanya Bhagavat session. So, the devotees who have joined online, and here we have almost 40-50 devotees offline. How many of you would be reading Chaitanya Bhagavat for the first time and have no idea about Chaitanya Bhagavat? Or very little idea about Chaitanya Bhagavat?
I don't know, Mataji.
Okay, so online devotees are still raising hands. Offline majority, they don't know.
I don't know, Mataji.
I don't know,
31, 32, 33, 35, 39, 40, 45. So we have almost 188 devotees online, and almost 50 devotees have voted that they don't know anything about Chaitanya Bhagavat. So I must congratulate all of you because your lives are about to change. The lives are about to change, and in a very, very positive, transformational, and sweetness-coated manner. So, like we have Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes the glories, the pastimes of Supreme Lord Krishna. So, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam is Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva has written that, and same Vyasadeva has come as Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, and he is the author of Chaitanya Bhagavat. So Chaitanya Bhagavat is all the leelas of the Prema Purushottam incarnation of the Supreme Lord, whose personification of Prema and whose purpose of appearance is to distribute Prema, free, like anyone and everyone to distribute Prema. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, so this Chaitanya Bhagavat is basically the description of his life, his pastime, his dealings with other devotees, and there is so much to learn and so much sweetness to absorb. So this is Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is Srila Prabhupada did a marathon in translating Chaitanya Charitamrita, and within a short period of 2 months, it was published, and it was a miracle. And if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, so Krishnadas Kaviraj is often glorifying Vrindavan Das Thakur, and he refers to Chaitanya Bhagavat as Chaitanya Mangal. And he says that many sweet pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, I will describe only in brief, because Vrindavan Das Thakur has very elaborately explained this. So whatever Vrindavan Das Thakur could not describe and explain in Chaitanya Bhagavat, that was the focus of whatever Vrindavan Das Thakur could not describe in Chaitanya Bhagavat was described in Chaitanya Charitamrita in great detail by Krishnadas Kaviraj.
So this Chaitanya Bhagavat, it begins with 5 verses, which is like the Mangalacharan verses. And okay, so some of us, I am assuming they may not know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combined incarnation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combined incarnation of Srimati Radharani and the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So Krishna, when he comes in the mood and the complexion of Srimati Radharani, that form is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So though Krishna is darkish blue, blackish in complexion, but when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is in golden color. And he has those same longings as Srimati Radharani, same desires, same heart of Srimati Radharani, but he is Krishna. So Krishna wanted to understand, what is it that Srimati Radharani derives in my association? Why is she find me so attractive? How my devotees are attracted to me? So because of that, Krishna wanted to understand how the devotees and especially Srimati Radharani thinks and feels about Krishna. So that is why he comes as this incarnation. And also, as I was telling you, that he distributes prema. So the other second reason for his advent is to distribute the worship of Sri Radha Krishna and how can we attain Krishna Prem. So the process, what he has established, the process of Kali Yuga is Hari Nam Sankirtan. So this is the other reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So we also understand that Lord Krishna, who is described in the Emperor verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Ete Chamsa Kalha Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this particular form of the Lord, the highest form of the Lord, appears in the material world only once in a day of Brahma. So he appears only once in a day of Brahma, and he appears in Dwapar Yuga. And in the following Kali Yuga, the Lord appears as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are many scriptural evidences, Srimad Bhagavatam and otherwise, which describe that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord and he's not different from Krishna. So we need to understand his actual position. Then we can understand and accept Chaitanya Bhagavat in our heart in the proper manner.
आजानुलम्बित भुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलाक्षौ विश्वाम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityanand Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus flower. They are the maintainers of the living entities, the best of the Brahmanas, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. So this is an exceptional verse, and among so much glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu, this verse concludes to say that these two incarnations are the most merciful among all the incarnations. So no other incarnation of the Lord, no other form in which the Lord incarnated in this universe has been as magnanimous, as Mahavadanyaya, as these two forms of the Lord. So we are very, very fortunate that we are aware of them and we worship them and we follow their instructions, and definitely we have received some mercy of theirs, and that's why we are trying to chant the Shuddh now.
Namaskrikalaya Jagannathasudaya cha Sabratraya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. O my Lord, you are eternally existing in the past, present, and future. Yet you are the son of Sri Jagannath Mishra. I offer my repeated obeisances unto you along with your associates, your sons, and your consorts. So here the prayer is being offered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we know that as Kal, like Krishna's potency is Kal. So as Kal, he is present in past, he is present in present, he is also present in future. And yet that same Krishna has taken birth and accepted Sri Jagannath Mishra as his father. And then it is mentioned that I offer my repeated obeisances unto you along with your associates. So all the associates, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, to everyone he is offering the respects. Your sons. So your sons is described as one, the disciples, the sannyas disciples, the Goswamis. Second, the process of bhakti itself, because he is giving birth to that process of bhakti. And what is that process of bhakti? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. and your consorts. So in this incarnation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accept two wives. So Sri Devi and Bhudevi comes as Lakshmi Priya and Vishnu Priya. So the respects are offered to them also. Avitirnau sakarunyam
Parichanno Sadishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Dvau
Rau Vaje.
Dvau Bhratarau Bhajit. I worship the two brothers, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Nityananda, who have descended in this world as the supreme controllers. They have appeared in covered forms as the embodiment of mercy. So here the word used is parichinna. So Lord, they are the supreme personality of Godhead, but they are covered. How they are covered? They are seen, known as great devotees. So they are covered as in devotee form, although they are the supreme forms of mercy.
All glories to Sri Gaura Sundar, whose powerful activities are supremely pure, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, whose eyes are like lotus petals, whose 6 beautiful arms extend to his knees, and whose heart is inundated by loving devotional sentiments as he enjoys dancing in various ways during Kirtan. Jayati Jayati Devaha Krishna Chaitanya Chandro Jayati Jayati Kirtasya Nitya Pavitra Jayati Jayati Nitya Vishvesha Murte Jayati Jayati Nityam Tasya Sarva Priyana.
All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra, who is the fully independent supreme personality of Godhead and the abode of transcendental pastimes. All glories to his eternal pure activities. Sri Gaura Sundar is the controller of all other controllers, the Lord of the universe, and the embodiment of transcendental knowledge. All glories to his devotees, and all glories to the dancing of his beloved associates.
Tabe Vando Shri Krishna Chaitanya Maheshwara Navadvipe Avatara Vishwambara. I then offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He incarnated in Navadvip and he is known as Vishwambar. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known by various names like Vishwambhar, like Gaur Hari, like Nimai Pandit, and like Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So the author is offering the obeisances at the beginning. Amar Bhakti Puja Sri Prabhu Vede Bhagavate Gailadana.
That same supreme personality of Godhead has declared in Vedas and Srimad Bhagavatam, worship of my devotees is superior to worship of me. So today morning also we are reading this verse where Lord Shiva was announcing this to Mother Parvati, that among all the worship of all the types of worship mentioned in the Vedas or different personalities, the worship of Vishnu is the supremost, and higher than the topmost worship of Vishnu is the worship of Tadiya, or one who's intimately connected with Vishnu. That worship is higher than the worship of Vishnu.
So the author is actually explaining the reason as in why is he offering the obeisances to the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. So because their worship is superior to worship of Lord Chaitanya himself. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Nityananda Rai, for he is my worshipable Lord. By his mercy, the glories of Lord Chaitanya become manifest. So Lord Nityananda is not different from Balaram himself, and Vrindavan Das Thakur. He has received the instruction from Nityananda Rai, and on his instruction, he is compiling this Chaitanya Bhagavat. So he is telling that he is my worshipable Lord and he's seeking his blessings. So just like how we seek blessings of Krishna and then we seek blessings of our Guru. So in that spirit, he's seeking blessings of Nityananda Rai. Sahasravardhana Lord Prabhupada Yahya Sahasramukhe Krishna Yashodhama.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 1,000-headed Lord Balaram. His thousands of mouths are the abode of Lord Krishna's transcendental glories. So Lord in the form of Ananta Shesh, he has so many thousands of heads, and from thousands of his mouths, all that is coming out is glorification of Lord. Thousands of mouths, unlimited glorifications going for unlimited time.
Lord Ananta's mouths are the storehouse of the gem-like glories of Lord Krishna. So as we would know that Ananta Shesh has thousands of mouths, and from each mouth, what he is doing? He's glorifying the Supreme Lord. So that is why it is mentioned that his mouth is like a storehouse. So just like in storehouse, we store so many things. So he's a storehouse of the glories. And these glories, how are these glories? These glories are so beautiful and attractive and shining like gems. So in his mouth stays these gem-like glories of Lord Krishna, for valuable jewels are kept in a most appropriate place. So the jewels we keep with lot of care and precaution. So the best place to keep this jewel-like glories of Krishna is the mouth of Anantashesh.
And you should carry a bag. The jewels, we should collect. So those of you who are taking notes, therefore, in the beginning, I offer my prayers to Lord Balaram so that the glories of Lord Chaitanya will manifest from my mouth. So first, he is offering his prayers to Lord Balaram that may Chaitanya Bhagavat or Chaitanya Mangal, as it was initially known, becomes manifest from Vrindavan Das Thakur.
Lord Balaram has thousands of hoods, and all of his activities are extraordinary.
The Supreme Lord Balaram carries a plow and possesses a gigantic body. Although he's exceptionally grave, he's intoxicated by the glories of Lord Chaitanya. So if we go up in the temple hall, we'll find that our small Balaram has a small plow, right? And it's mentioned that carries a plow, possesses gigantic body. So immediately you should look at the big Balaram. So although he's exceptionally grave, but he's completely intoxicated by the glories of Lord Chaitanya. If you look at the eyes of Nityanand Prabhu, they are all reddish and they are rolling in the ecstasy of the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
There is no one more dear to Lord Chaitanya than Nityananda. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya always enjoys pastimes within him. So, actually, Vrindavan Das Thakur is giving us the proper perspective, as in how to approach Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, this is Chaitanya Bhagavat, and we are hearing verse after verse after verse the glorification of Nityananda Prabhu. And why so? Because we can approach and we can receive the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Tane Paramansahaya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya is most satisfied with one who chants or hears the characteristics of Lord Nityananda. So I'm sure Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is little satisfied with us because for last few verses we've been hearing the glorification of Lord Nityananda.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so easily pleased just by hearing. Just when we hear, he becomes pleased. We don't really have to do some activities. Hearing itself is pleasing. Mahaprita
Jivaya Spuraya Tamra Shuddha Saraswati.
Lord Shiva and Parvati also become pleased with such a person, and the transcendental goddess of learning Saraswati manifests on his tongue. So not only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Shiva, Lord Parvati, goddess Saraswati, everyone becomes pleased with who? With one who hears the glories and hears and sings the glories of Nityananda Prabhu.
Sankarshana Bhuje Shiva Upasakahana. Along with Parvati, the innumerable maidservants, Lord Shiva engages in the worship of Sankarshana. So, Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, along with their associates, what are they doing? They're worshipping Sankarshana. And that is how Lord Shiva has received his name? Shankar. So constantly, if you see also many of the depictions of Lord Shiva are eyes are half closed and he's chanting Japa. Lord Shiva is also chanting Japa 24/7. Chaitanya Chandrera Punya Shravana Charita Bhakta Prasade Pure Janiha Nishchita.
Hearing the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Chandra brings all auspiciousness. But know for certain that they are revealed only through the mercy of the devotees. So there are two extreme aspects here mentioned. The first aspect is just by hearing. And that is why we have started this half an hour Purushottam month Chaitanya Leela readings, because just by hearing, it will bring all auspiciousness. So like yesterday we were hearing that this month, the other name is Malamas or dirty month, but it can bestow us the highest auspiciousness if we live it like that. And then the second part is that we can receive, we can properly understand, we can connect with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes only through the mercy of devotees. Veda
Who can understand the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? They are confidential even to Vedas. Therefore, I will write only what I have heard from the devotees. So the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are difficult to access. Even in the Vedas, they're covered, they're confidential, and we saw verses how that this is the Channa avatar. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying that the best way to understand, describe the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to share what I've heard from devotees.
and Ved Guhya, it is confidential even to the Vedas. So that part we can see, like when we ask that how many of us have access, have heard or read Chaitanya Bhagavat, and so many of us have not yet reached there. We may have heard Bhagavad Gita, we may have heard Srimad Bhagavatam also, but Chaitanya Bhagavat, Ved Guhya.
Confidential in Vedas also would refer to when we discuss the different forms of the Lord, to come to the conclusion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Personality of Godhead, very difficult to prove from scriptures. Only by the grace of the Lord, you have to look for some articles where it has been compiled, then we look at them and then we do that. Chaitanya Charitra Yena Mata Vena Shakti Tena Mata Likhi.
I do not find a beginning or end to the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya. I write whatever he inspires me. So Adi Ant Nahi Dekhi. So I'm not seeing the time. So it is 8:04, but I am also not seeing the time. Chaitanya Charitra Adi Ant Nahi Dekhi. So whatever Mahaprabhu inspires, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has composed.
Kashmira Pudaliyena Kuhakinachaya Ei Mata Gaura Chandra Moreye Bolaya. Whatever I describe is only by the direction of Sri Gaura Chandra, just as a puppet dances only by the directions of the puppeteer. So Vrindavan Das Thakur has set himself down, got down to this task of compiling and writing Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So he's saying that as Sri Gaura Sundar directs him, accordingly he will write like a... We have seen the puppet show. Really? It's very rare. No. I remember I've seen in childhood. So the puppet, if you see, it is completely like this. Only when the puppeteer
Pulls
the hand goes up. Otherwise, like this, it's lifeless actually. So the puppeteer infuses this energy in the puppet, and similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is infusing his transcendental energy in Vrindavan Das Thakur, through which he is compiling this. Same thing Srila Prabhupada also said. How I have written my purports Krishna would sit, he would tell me, I was right.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare.
So we will continue this journey for next 29 days. I hope we all had a very blissful first day of Purushottam month where we started, and thankfully it was Sunday. So many of you could actually come to the temple, and from morning I am seeing your brilliant, effulgent faces since morning until now. Also, it's bright and beautiful. So let us hope and pray that we can keep our sankalpa, we can keep our vow for the Purushottam month. And like how one day has gone, balance 29 days, Krishna gives us, empowers us, and Prabhupada gives us his kripa so that we can observe this Purushottam month in a manner which is very, very pleasing to our Guru Parampara. And at the end of the Purushottam month, we realize a little bit more of devotion, a little bit more of humility we acquire, a little bit more tolerant we become, and a little bit more we develop our taste for hearing and chanting. So with that, we will take your leave, and yes, sir.
If we go through the glorification of Purushottam month, devotees are usually very concerned about when we are practicing devotional life, what are we concerned about? Offenses. And in this month, it is mentioned that by careful observance of this month, devotees can actually become free their offenses. So after clapping, take full advantage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Srila Prabhupada ki jai.